welcome to YouTube and in this video we're going to be looking at how to evaluate the gradient of a curve given a point. So let's say we have been given such a problem y. Let's say we've been given y is equal to 2x squared plus x plus 1, and then we have been given the point x, y, and then they want us to find the gradient of the curve at a point where x is basically x. So notice that if you're going to go about such a problem, you have to introduce calculus. So this video has been uploaded under the calculus section. So if you don't know how to differentiate, because we're going to be using differentiation, you can go check out the video on that. So if we're going to solve this question, notice what I will simply say is my dy over dx to differentiate or to derive, it depends with whatever. And then what do I get once I differentiate this? So my 2 will come to the front, so I'll have my 2 multiplying my 2, and then my x will reduce, it will be just to the power 1, and then plus, if I differentiate my x, I'm going to get a 1. If I differentiate my constant 1, that's just a 0. So notice that when I differentiate this, I'm going to have 4x plus 1. And then at my point xy, and then since x and y are known values, then this is my gradient at xy. So just like that, I have solved. Let's try out another question. So let's say we have been given y is equal to 3x squared minus 1, and then we have been given at the points 1, 2. How can we evaluate the gradient for this? So I'm simply going to say my d, and then if I do not want to represent it as dy, I can, because this is basically my y, I can just write this down, 3x squared minus 1 close brackets over my dx, and then say this is equal to, when I differentiate this side, my 2 multiply my 3, so I'll have a 6x, and then the differentiation of negative 1 is just 0, so then I've got a 6x. And then notice that this is at my point, this is at my point where my x is equal to 1, because we know according to coordinate geometry, this is x, this is y. So what I'm simply going to do is that I'm going to write my 6, and then I'm going to basically multiply it by my 1. So then my gradient at that point of x, where my x is 1, is 6. Let's just try out another example to get very familiar with these concepts. So the whole point is just basically knowing how to differentiate what you have been given to y, and then the rest will just simply come out for you. So let's try this example. And feel free to always pause the videos to try out what I'm talking about. If you have gotten the concept, you can just pause the video and then you can keep on trying out the other questions. So let's say we have been given this, and then we have been given at a point where x is equal to 1. So let's find the gradient at a point where x is equal to 1. So I'm simply going to say dy over dx is equivalent to, Once I evaluate this, I'm going to get a 6x, differentiate, I'm going to get a 6x plus 1. And then I know that my value of x is 1, so I'm simply going to replace here with a 1, and then that will be plus 1. So then this is 7. So 7 is my slope when my x is a 1. Let's go ahead and try out another example. Let's say we have been given our y being equal to 2x squared minus x. And then at this point, my x is a 2. So first of all, I have to always differentiate. Don't forget to differentiate, because if you plug in directly, the values that you might get might be wrong. So if I differentiate this, I'm going to get 4x minus 1. And then I'm simply going to replace where I have my x with a 2. And then I'm going to subtract 1. So notice that I'm going to have an 8 minus 1, which is a 7. So this is how we basically go about these questions. This has been your tutor ZM. Please leave a like, share with friends, and subscribe to the channel. Thank you very much.